Welcome to Module 3 and 4 about drama. In this module, we're going to consider how prose and drama are similar and different. As you know, prose, the relationship between the writer, the reader, and the audience, which is usually the reader, is quite direct. You might have the publisher in the way and a few other things like that, but basically the writer is communicating the message, the reader is receiving it, and that's how the message is interpreted. When it gets into prose, again, you have a writer, you have the message, and you have the reader, so it's relatively direct. But when you get to drama, you've got many more factors involved. From the beginning, we have the writer has a message to say, but before it gets to the audience, or the reader in your case, you have to go through the producer and the director. You have to go through all the performers, the stage crews, the set design, the lighting, the costumes, the marketing, the location director. All of those sorts of things have to get in the way before you, the audience, gets a chance to interpret the message. So you can see for a writer, it's a totally different task. And for an audience, it's a totally different task to interpret a drama than it is for prose. When you're interpreting a drama, you have to look at many more of the subtle clues. You, as the audience, have a very, very important role. In fact, if you're at the theater one night, you might have a totally different response to a play than you might the next night. It all depends on the mood and the tone of the audience. The writer's role is to create the idea, write the script. The writer has to include stage directions because if you want your message to be clearly understood, you have to be very clear on where you want the actors or actresses to be standing, what kind of set design you want, all that sort of stuff. The more explicit your directions, the more likely the direct message will be there. However, many plays have very little direction, and therefore it's up to the interpretation of the producer, the writer, the producer, the director, the actor, etc. Another difference is that stage dramas are always written in first person. That's because it's real-time dialogue. So if you want to talk about events in the past, you have to bring them in a different way. The playwright, therefore, has a very, very important role, but has many factors that influence the role of the playwright. The producer, the director, his or her role is to oversee the whole production of the play. And he or she will have a very, very important role in determining the look and feel of a play. And as you all know, each producer, each director has a different feel that he or she wants to bring forward in a play or a stage play or a drama produced on screen or television, wherever it may be. The actor. We know that some actors can butcher a role and others can really bring out the best. The lighting crew. As you watch in Hamlet, you will notice that the lighting has a major impact on some scenes. Although it was difficult in the 1600s to have a lot of technical lighting, there still was use for candles and time of day, etc. Today, lighting plays an extremely important role in setting the mood for many of the dramas. Red tends to show anger, blue shows cool tones, show coldness and distance. So again, the color, lighting plays a very, very important role. Set designer, well, you can imagine some plays range from the very, very simple set design to extremely complex. If any of you have been to an Andrew Lloyd Webber production of musicals such as The Phantom of the Opera or Les Mis, you'll know very, very elaborate set designs are there. Compare that to if you went to a university production, third-year drama students, the set design would be relatively simple. So it just depends. Children's theater often has very, very basic set design. Sometimes it's just a matter of 3 blocks on the stage, and you use them for different roles. Sound system. As we know, music can create the mood. Other sounds also influence it, so the quality of sound is extremely important as well. Costume designer. in the play Death of a Salesman, the costumes very clearly show a shift in time. When the main character Linda is in the past, she's always carrying a laundry basket. To the future, she doesn't have it, so she's darning socks. So those sorts of things show shift in time. Now, when you watch Hamlet, the version from Kenneth Branagh's costuming is beautiful and gorgeous, but it's more set in a late 19th century versus the 1600s that Hamlet was really written. A Franco Zeffirelli version of Hamlet will have more true costuming set for 1600s, but might have changed the script a bit more. At any rate, the costumes have a very important role in the play as well. And last but not least, I can't emphasize how important you as the audience have in interpreting the message that the playwright first had. Again, we talked about the drama is always written in the present tense. Past activities are told to the audience by present dialogue. Flashbacks, they happen by reporting the actions, or there can be staging devices such as costume and set changes. Now, when you read your drama, in this case when you read Hamlet, make sure you read all the stage directions. They're very minimal in a Shakespearean play. Nevertheless, they do play an important role. And read some of the play out loud. Have friends take parts and read with you. It is meant to be an oral experience, so hearing it will have a huge role. It'll get you the cadence, the tone, the point of view of the act of the roles by listening to it as well as reading it. So those are some very basic introductions to drama. As you work through the module, you'll see a huge difference. As we work through Module 4, we will talk about the difference between a Shakespearean drama versus a modern drama. Good luck and enjoy.